Well, hello, my team greatness. Yes, welcome back. This is me, Jessica Campos with marketingforgreatness.com, the recovered attorney that turned herself into a forensic digital marketer. And now I help entrepreneurs and marketing teams to build brands and monetize them. Yes. In today's video, I am going to tell you a rant because my Instagram account has been blocked. Can you imagine? So I want to share with you the trick that I have used to solve this problem. And most importantly, how can you avoid being in Instagram jail? Now, before we dive in, as always, we have a shout out. And this shout out is going to be for an amazing leader in our Austin group. And she is Emily Montgomery. Emily's mission is all about hope. So guys, I really encourage you to support her mission and to share what she does. So here's what happened. All of a sudden, when I was scrolling through, I wanted to like a post from my friends, and all of a sudden Instagram started to warn me, and they got this crazy message like, warning, you are blocked from doing this activity. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So we decided that if I was gonna get that message, I rather would get clarification on what that message was. So maybe you have watched a couple of videos that are here in YouTube, and they are telling you that there is this trick where you actually report the problem and then you delete the app and then you get back into the app and then the problem has been solved. That actually is not true. That doesn't work. And even if you got that trick to work for you, I strictly warn you to not do that, because what happens is that once your account has been restricted, they're not going to tell you, but they will restrict your content. And that's what we found out. What we found out was that the first time I got that warning, my account was getting significantly low engagement in reach. Pay attention to the reach. And that was for about 4 days. And the more I tried to like and to do things, the more I realized, this is not just a few hours of a thing. This is actually a restriction that is lasting longer, but I didn't know how long was gonna be. And you know what I did? I actually started spamming people, spamming messages and behaving crazy. And that's when I discovered the magic. And you know what the magic was? The magic was that they actually put me in the real jail. Back in the days when Facebook was the most popular thing, there was something called Facebook jail. And of course, Facebook bought Instagram. So their compliance teams are pretty much the same, even though they don't have the same customer service, but they really run the rules pretty much the same. So I went back and review what exactly is that put people in jail. And now I realize, what if actually I can force the jail people to actually put me in jail? And it happened, guys. As soon as I got a message, actually that message was no longer the very general message from Instagram. So we actually got a notification that I'm going to be sharing with you here that said that my account had been restricted, and it actually finally had a due date. And I was so happy because back in the days, I went to Facebook jail a couple of times, and I remember that as soon as they release you from jail, your account gets cleaned up. And all you need to do is just behaving good, and your account is going to be good. So what I will say is definitely stay away from trouble. But if you believe that your account has been restricted, I rather want you to be suspended partially for a few days so that you can come back clean, and that will be the way to restore the visibility of your account. So I have a list of 10 things that will prevent you to go from jail, and I'm going to be running through them very quickly because at some point you can always just come back and pause, take notes, but I don't want to take too much of your time because these are things that are pretty much self-explanatory. But anyway, let's run through the list. First thing that can get you in trouble is irregular activity. What exactly does that mean? Well, let's say that you usually log in from your cell phone and then you live in Austin, Texas. Then all of a sudden, somebody else is going to be logging in from their cell phone and they're in Argentina. that is irregular activity. In fact, that will trigger the algorithm and their security protocols and will get your account suspended until you clarify that your IP was actually you. Here's what happens. Even when you say, yes, that was me, well, if it was not really you, you're getting kind of a warning there. They're going to flag your account because you have logged in with different IP addresses and you have said, yes, that is me. That's thing number one to avoid. Number two is the obvious, don't be spammy. But here's the thing, sometimes let's say that you want to promote an event, you want to send the same messages to different people because you are in a rush. Well, while you don't have the intention to spam people, spam is any activity that is in a rush, that is actually presenting some speed that is not the norm. So whenever you use the platform and you keep just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, in fact, this will also get you in trouble in Facebook. So avoid the copy and paste back to back. If you have to send back to back messages, I would say to just not even send more than 6 messages, take a break and then send, 6 messages at a time. So try to reduce the speed, please. Number 3 is switching the locations. Now, before I said that if you were logging in from a different location and then you still confirm that you were the same person, that's one thing. But here is another thing. If you actually have different devices and then you keep just logging in and logging out from different devices and those devices are also in different locations, that can get you in trouble with the account because it might be interpreted as if you're sharing the password with different people and they're thinking that somebody is hacking you. So make sure that, let's say that you went to visit your friends and then you were logging in and you forgot to log out. Well, if you are all of a sudden getting the notification that there is suspicious activity, what you need to do is make sure that you're logging out from that other account and deleting all the permissions because they will interpret it like if your account is in danger. Number 4, back-to-back posting. And here's the thing, there's no rule that says that you cannot post back-to-back in your feed, but here's what happens. Any activity that is out of the norm, the Instagram platform might interpret it as if you're all of a sudden spamming people. So the back-to-back, meaning anything that goes irregularly versus what you normally do, that is something that will put your account in danger. Now, let's say that you have to because today is a very important day, or maybe sometimes when you want to put those giant posters that require that you share like 12 images at a time, be careful with those. Those can put your account in trouble because it's back-to-back posting and then they are going to feel like your account was compromised. Be careful with those. I hope you're taking notes from this fantastic list. And before I jump into the next one, I just want to remind you, this video will have a continuation because I'm documenting what happens after the suspension got released. And I want to show you my stats. So make sure that you don't leave this video without subscribing. I'm going to do something that my daughter does in her videos. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, please do it now. Subscribe. And then she also does this thing that says 1, 2, 3, then ring the bell so you can follow me. And that means that every time that we share a video, you'll be the first in getting that notification. Okay? You did it? Awesome. Okay. So the next reason why your account can be suspended is because of hashtags. There is a list of hashtags that are banned. And if accidentally, I'm not saying that you're doing this on purpose, but if accidentally you happen to use a list of hashtags that are banned, then if you use it multiple times, that could be a reason for essentially getting your account to be banned. So avoid hashtags that are over 1 million people because usually they get banned and your account can be in trouble. Number 6 is sending the same messages to different people on a very high speed. And not only, like I said before, you can just reduce it at 6 messages at a time, but make sure that you change at least a little bit and make sure that message doesn't have links. If you are sending links in DMs, that is definitely an activity that they're going to feel like you are a spam. Okay, so that is something that might put your account in trouble. Number 7, Leaving comments. That is a practice that you have heard, that leaving comments in somebody else's accounts, in hashtags, because you find people on hashtags and all that, and you leave the comments and you leave the smiley faces. Be careful, because that is an activity that usually the bots do. So if you're actually doing it, you are behaving as a bot. And that is an activity that can put your account in danger, sadly. And that takes us to number 8. Anything that can make your account to look like a bot will get you frozen. So another example of that, if you have an automated response, or if you are sending a canned message to people who are following you, like, thank you for following me, thank you for following me, thank you for following me, thank you for following me. If you sound like a broken record, even if it's just you, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, which actually I think that was something that happened to us. We were actually running a campaign saying hello to everybody that had recently following us, and one person got really disappointed and she was really, really mad. And I feel like that person reported my account. And that is something that might have happened to you. Maybe you were just saying hello, trying to be friendly with the person, but it was actually the wrong person, and that person reported you, and all of a sudden you are flagged. Ugh, nasty, huh? Next one, fake account. You have no idea how many people have come to get help because their account got completely blocked. And what I find out is that they actually have several accounts with different emails. I don't know why, but they thought that they needed to have different accounts with different emails. If that is your case, if you use the platform and you're like logging in, logging out, logging in, logging out, then Instagram is going to feel like you are using the account inappropriately because you're using fake profiles. Number one, you don't need to have different emails to have multiple accounts, okay? So with the same email, you can just open different accounts because, you know, let's face it. I mean, I even have an account for my dog. I have an account for my office, and I have an account for myself. So yes, you can have multiple accounts in the same email, but make sure that you don't have the multiple accounts in different emails. And if you're using the same cell phone, logging in, logging out, logging in, logging out, that is an activity that they don't like, and then a lot of that can get you in trouble. Well, I can't believe that we are almost at the end. And then the thing number 10 that can get you in trouble is when you're running ads and people report you. Sadly, if you get a lot of reports and if people don't like the content that you're sharing, the Instagram is going to feel like you are abusing from the platform. And as, of course, they're going to say that they want to protect the purity of their platform, and therefore you will be kicked out. So the good thing about this is that most likely when you get that official warning, they're going to just put you in jail for a week. Now, if you repeat that at least the way it was back in the days of Facebook jail, then they can extend your Facebook jail, in this particular case, your Instagram jail time, for longer. In my case, I actually had the longest one I had was a month, guys. I was put in jail for a month. And back in the days, I was put in jail because my competitors would just go and tell their team to actually report my account, and my account will be just in jail. And because I did it so many times, they actually tried to get me canceled. But you know, the longest they could do that was for a month. I actually had to open a different profile because of that. So, you know, I just might say, you know, just for the sake of having a plan B, even though having a second profile with a different email is not something that will be 100% in compliance with Instagram, you might want just to have a spare email with a spare account, maybe with a different variation of your name, just in case. Because when that happened to me, I was just in misery trying to explain to people that I was not going anywhere, but my social media was compromised. Now, this particular block that I have on Instagram actually is not preventing me from share stories, ironically enough. So I have been able to share stories and share DMs. I don't know how is your blog looking like, but at least I have the stories and I have the direct messages, and I'm making sure that none of my assistants are logging in from different countries or anything like that. So at least we have a due date, and what I will do is I really hope that as soon as my account gets out of jail, I can see the engagement going up, and I'll be sharing that with you. So now we are at the end. One thing that I would ask is, if this is content that you enjoy, if I help you solving something that had you very, very worried and you got value from this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Share with somebody. You never know who needs to have this situation solved and getting the clarity. This is information, guys, that is very hard to find, and I figured that you would appreciate it. We also have the blog. We also have our website. Come and visit. And I also have a Facebook group for my readers and now my YouTubers, because, guys, let's just do marketing for greatness together. Being alone is just boring, and why just, not sharing the things that you learn and cooperating and collaborating, right? So that's what I believe. That's what I believe in marketing for greatness. And if you're greatness, join us in the group. See you soon.